All right, so to add to my stress of the day, I was right in the middle of recording a questionnaire video because I felt like doing something fun to pick up my spirits mentally and to distract myself mentally and to kind of revamp or restart my mental health confidence or whatever it is. And about 46 questions into it, my power went out. So with that being said, I thought that since my dryer was going, I thought the dryer for some reason blew the circuit breaker. So I had to go find a flashlight and go to my circuit breaker and flip all the breakers and see if that turns anything on. And nothing came on. And I'm thinking, oh my God, did the electric company turn off our electric bill because we're past due? However, I have an extension to pay it till the 22nd. Then I emailed Jim or texted Jim and my mom, and Jim said that my mom's power has been glitching and that they're having problems everywhere. So what I'm trying to do currently is text my neighbor and find out their power's on or when it's going to be back on. And the website for the power company, I'm trying to restart or refresh because I have internet service, I just don't have power, and report an outage in my area. At least the electric company did not turn off our power, so that's good. But I don't know why I thought it was the dryer. Our dryer, since our washing machine doesn't fully work properly, it doesn't drain the water all the way out of our washing machine. And we don't have a full just spin cycle on our washing machine. I can't, we have a rinse, drain, spin, but I have to turn the water off to have it spin and drain. And sometimes that doesn't always work. So our clothes or whatever we're washing still goes in the dryer, almost sopping wet, which is not good for any dryer. So I thought our dryer got backed up and just decided to glitch and throw out our breaker. Thank God I know about breaker systems. Thank God my mom and my uncles, when I was little, living in Nebraska, taught us about breakers. Now, if you're as old as I am, I'm 37. I'm going to be 38 this month. I still remember the glass bulbs for breakers. If you know what I'm talking about, that's how old you are. You would think that I was too young to know about those glass little bulbs. Those are fun. But when I flipped the breaker system and I didn't see any sparks, which you're not supposed to see sparks. You're not supposed to see sparks. But I do know when we very first moved in and our power was being weird and we had to flip the breaker because our stove, our oven, the wall that our oven sits on, for some reason, blew the breaker when we first moved in. And when we went to go flip all the breakers, something sparked. And that's how I know it sparks, which is not good. No, I know breaker boxes are not supposed to spark. But have we gotten it looked at? No. We've lived here for a year and a half almost, and we have not had it looked at because we haven't had any problems like that. We've never needed to flip the breaker system. But after talking to Jim, hopefully it's just like a neighborhood thing. Thank God it's a beautiful day outside and we don't need the air on, or thank God it's not freezing cold. Thank God the triplets aren't here and it's winter and I have to figure out how to keep them warm. Although babies who don't regulate their temperature, you can keep them warm. It's not that hard. But what's good is that I was not cooking dinner. Because I was just about to start, but then I realized I don't have eggs to cook dinner with. So there's that. And 2, my laptop is fully charged. My phone is fully charged. I have a portable charger if I need to charge my phone for any reason. My portable charger is a solar charger, so if need be, I can go outside and charge it in the sunlight. But I'm just really? So now I'm sitting here. My coffee's gonna go cold. Yeah, this is fun. What is up, my YouTubers? Okay, I look like shit because I just spent the last I don't even know, throwing up, and I'm shaking, and my voice is shaking. I'm coming on here to talk about basically pregnancy and anxiety, because if you guys haven't watched any of my older videos of what mental health diagnoses I suffer from, it's ADHD, mid to high anxiety, BPD, which is borderline personality disorder, which is not bipolar. I do not have bipolar. Also PSTD. I am prone to postpartum depression, but that's after the baby's born. I don't know if you can get like the pregnancy blues. I'm pretty sure you can get like a pregnancy depression, where you kind of get like feeling like you're useless and you can't do anything. And that's kind of where I'm at now, because like the past few months I have been trying to find a job. You know, I've been applying at places, and without having a driver's license, because if you guys don't know that story, well, I got stopped for DWIs. I don't have a driver's license. We only have one vehicle that's working right now. My scooter is at my mom's house still, that I'm still trying to figure out how to get to this house. And basically, long story short, Jim went out to DoorDash, and we just got into it, and it made me so upset that I was throwing up so badly, because when I get massively upset, I tend to throw up. And it scares me because I can't lose this baby after the miscarriage. I'm already 37. I'm going to be 38. I don't feel like I'm high risk, but there is a chance that I could be high risk. And I'm trying not to cry right now, but it's really emotional because it's so hard when your hormones are changing to calm down. When you have borderline, you don't think like a rational person. There is no gray line. You can't just calm down and snap out of it like regular people. Add on top of that pregnancy hormones, so it takes me extra longer to calm down. Did I plan on throwing up? No. I was trying to stay calm. I was trying to ignore what happened earlier. I was trying to just, ignore it. And I couldn't. It's just, things got said, and I just got overwhelmed. And I don't know. And that's what I'm coming on here, because it's really hard, and I'm so terrified that I could lose this baby. I'm only in 5 weeks right now. Our next appointment isn't for a few more weeks when I'm 8 weeks. So between now and that appointment, I'm kind of like in limbo. And since our reception at our house doesn't really work that well, I can't even call like the nurses or the doctors to like ask them what to do, because nobody can hear me on my phone. And I know they say if you're that concerned, go to the hospital. And it's like I got so scared earlier when I was throwing up and I couldn't stop that I needed to go to the hospital, because I was afraid that if I kept throwing up and couldn't stop from being upset and from having a panic attack, that something would happen. And it's just really hard because I'm so stressed out. I am so stressed out lately. And sorry. It's like I am so stressed out for the past couple months because I have been trying to figure out how I can work from home. We need a landline at our house, and then I can possibly work from home. I can't use my cell phone, like I said, because people cannot hear me when I call out. If people call me, they can kind of hear me, but it's not the greatest service, so a landline would help. Plus, if you work from home, I think you need a landline anyways. We do have... Hello, and welcome to Thursday, October 20th. It is 2:59 p.m., so it's 3 p.m. And I wanted to come on here and talk about pregnancy and anxiety, because I know what I'm about to talk about isn't really pregnancy related, so I don't really have to include it in my pregnancy vlogs. But if you saw last week's vlog of how my anxiety was going, then it's kind of important, because when you have anxiety and you're pregnant, it is a mental health thing, and it can be debilitating. So for the past couple days, well, let's backtrack actually. So yes, I suffer from anxiety. No, I'm not on anything for it. Mostly because the few anxiety meds I've tried in the past, either you can't take during pregnancy. If you do take them during pregnancy, you really have to be extra monitored, or they made me too groggy to function, or the side effects ended up being worse than the actual medication to help with. So basically, if you saw last week's vlog, I was overwhelmed and stressed out, or pretty much my entire pregnancy, about finances, right? And it gets to a point where my anxiety gets to a point where I get so overwhelmed that I just can't function, if that makes sense. Meaning that I don't know how to adult. And it's really hard. And this is what scares me the most about when the babies come. And this is why I'm coming on here today to talk about this, because I know I've briefly mentioned I'm scared about my mental health and postpartum after the babies are born. But it's mostly when I get into these phases where it's not depression. I'm so overwhelmed with anxiety, I literally cannot adult or function. I just freeze. And if I just want to lay in bed all day and do absolutely nothing, and most people would misinterpret that as depression. And it's really hard, because it's not depression. It's literally like your brain freezes from anxiety. Like you get blindsided. You cannot possibly function. It's really hard to explain unless you have anxiety yourself. Most people are able to suck it up and do the adult things that they need to do. It's not like I can't parent, if that makes sense. It just gets to a point where I shut down. I've had anxiety when Airly was a baby. When she was 1.5 years, 2 years old, I lived with her and her father again, and I had anxiety, but I was able to disassociate and focus on Airly. And even though kids can feel your anxiety, I tried to kind of mask it and keep her entertained and keep her busy and keep her happy. I would sit there and say, let's create Play-Doh today, which is it's like flour, cream of tartar, water, and some other stuff to create your own Play-Doh, right? Or if it wasn't raining, I'd say, let's go outside and see how many pine cones we can get, something, anything. But since I don't have the triplets here yet, I can't really focus on anything else. But for the past 2 days, I've been trying to call this lady for help on one of her bills. And I haven't got a hold of her. And I'm so worried that it's basically an electric bill. Okay, basically our electric bill. I've procrastinated this whole past month. I should have taken care of it earlier this month, and I procrastinated. And I think it's because Jim was working, and I assumed that we could at least pay last month's electric bill and get caught up. And then he wasn't working because of weather, or people would get sick, or we don't have a vehicle, so he couldn't drive himself to work. Then there was a few days where the crew that he worked on just refused to work. So it's been a very hard month. And I had gotten an extension to pay the electric bill until the 22nd, which is Saturday. So I don't think that they're going to shut it off on Saturday, which means that if we don't pay anything until Monday or whatever, that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm overwhelmed with anxiety, because I can't get a hold of this lady. I've called her twice today. I called her once yesterday. I called her twice last week. Jim's called her. We can't get a hold of her. I don't have a vehicle to go down there in person. It's easier to go down there in person. I don't know what the freaking hell she's doing. And, you guys could tell. But when I get like this, I don't like when I get to the point where my anxiety is so overwhelming, I just want to stay in bed all day. I don't like that, because, it's not like I have really anything to do. I do eat. I have to eat. So it's But it's like, I don't want to eat. I don't want to drink any water. I don't want to watch YouTube. I don't want to clean up the house. I mean, I do it because I have to. But it's like, it's to the point where it's like, I'm 37 years old, and it gets to a point still to this day, where I get so overwhelmed with anxiety, I just don't want to function. I want somebody else to do it for me, and I can't keep doing that. So it's like, I force myself to do things, because, you know, you're an adult. It's just hard, I guess, and that's what's hard, because it's like, it scares me when the triplets come, because what if I do get like this, and then I can't function and take care of them. I don't know, it's hard to explain, and I'm crying because it sucks. Anxiety sucks. And I hate when people misconstrue it as depression, because it's not depression. It might seem like it, because yes, I've been laying in bed all day long, literally, and I haven't really wanted to get up, and anxiety is so exhausting that I just want to sleep all day. And I'm not sleeping, obviously. I'm talking to you guys, but it's like, it's everything. It's like, yes, my mom's neighbor's gonna fix Jim's car, so that's good. At least the car will be fixed. But then we still have to get it legal again, because the plates and tags are expired. So we have to have the money to do that. And since we let the car insurance lapse, because we didn't need car insurance if we don't have a vehicle to drive, then he has to pay those fees. And then he has to pay a reinstallment fee at the DMV. He has to pay for plates. He has to pay for tags. He has to get car insurance again. And according to him, and according to normal people, you know, oh, that's not that hard, you know. But it's like, we have these bills that have to be paid first. And it's just like, it's so overwhelming. We can't. People keep messaging me about selling the speaker system out of the vehicle, and yet nobody is actually legit. I mean, they message me, and I say, what's your best offer? Because even if they offer like $200 at this point, I don't care. It's $200 that we can pay something. And nothing happens. And then I guess some guy wants to buy Jim's PC, and I hate for him to lose the PC, but at the same time, it's like, I understand that we need the money, so it's also hard. And it's like, we have cat food, we have dog food, we have cat litter, so that's fine. I am eating. I mean, I didn't really eat that much. That's probably why I'm not eating as much. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I don't even know what today is. Today's Thursday. But after my doctor's appointment, when I was saying how I don't eat as much, I don't even know if I said that, but I haven't been eating so much lately. I do eat, but like, I don't eat as much because my anxiety is so high. I'm not hungry, and that's what I hate. It's when my anxiety is to a point where I'm like so overwhelmed and I can't eat. And you have to in pregnancy, so you basically have to force yourself to eat. Tuesday night, I could not sleep to save my life. I was up all night long trying to research personal loans, land loans, anything about loans with low credit, loans for people who don't work, just everything. And yeah, and I don't want to take a loan out. I even thought, well, even if we like trade in the vehicle, like trade our vehicle in for a different vehicle, right? And use our vehicle as a down payment. I don't want to do that because I don't want car payments. Because if we do that, and then all of a sudden, like, something happens and we can't make that car payment, then we really won't be out of car, or then we will be out of a car. And I don't want to get a land loan or refinance. It's a land loan, or it's a refinancing on my land. I don't know. It's basically holding your land as collateral to get a loan. I don't want to do that either, because if for any reason we end up accidentally missing a payment, I mean, you could set your payments. There's like a couple sites I found that you could set your payments. Like, let's say it's $100 a month. But what if we don't have the $100 a month, and then the bank wants to take my land? So it's like, it's so overwhelmingly, that's where I'm at today. And I know it's just one bad day. I have these days. I don't talk about them often. But it's harder in pregnancy when you know you have to eat. You have to maintain, like, yourself. And you just don't care. You don't want to do any of it because you're just overwhelmed. That's what sucks. And that's what sucks about, like, having any kids when you have anxiety. Because when you have kids, when you have kids and you're anxious, because I know, because my mom was a single mom, and I would watch her have anxiousness from bills or stress about grandma or everything else. And my mom's great. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just saying, like, I just wish sometimes I was more of a normal person and I wasn't so like this. But I'm just one of those people who has anxiety in pregnancy, or just anxiety in general. And that's why I said I don't really know if this is if this is really pregnancy related, but it's really important to talk about, because I know I'm not alone in this circumstance. And yes, I could easily talk to somebody about my anxiety. I did talk to my doctor about it, but it's like, again, there's really nothing that they can do. They can't help pay the bills. So all they really tell you to do is just try to stay hydrated and eat and rest. But when your mind is telling you that, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It really is. I could probably explain it better. I just really wanted to come on here and say that that at least the car's getting fixed. So that's a stress off of us. That's a huge stress off of us, because at least if the car's fixed, Jim can work and we can figure out plates and tags and everything later. And it might be at the point where maybe we can get a temp tag. You only get so many temp tags per year. So maybe we can go down there, or he can go down there and just see what they say. And maybe by some chance, by some prayer, by some miracle, he can get another temp tag for 30 days. I have no idea. I'm overwhelmed. But anyways, since today's Thursday, I don't know if I'm going to talk tomorrow or Saturday. I probably will give an update in the next 2 days, depending on how I feel. But I just wanted to come on here and say that it sucks. It really does suck having anxiety. And I will be fine. I will be fine. It's just, right now I'm so worried about our electric bill. I don't want it to get shut off. I'll figure something out. We will figure something out. It's just, I'm just like so massively worried about the bills right now. So, on a note, I'll talk to you guys later. Hello. All right. Stress. Stress in pregnancy. Let's add to the stress. So, just got out of the shower. That's not stressful. Now, what's been stressful these past few days, or this past week, is for some reason my hotspot decided to not work whatsoever at all. Oh yes. So I have no idea why. I know that my hotspot, you only have so much data on your hotspot, and then once it's used up, it tends to slow down until your next billing cycle. Well, my next billing cycle is on November 11th. Today is only November 5th. It's stressful because I basically have to turn on data roaming, and that means my mom might be charged for the data that I'm using. I have no clue at all if my data roaming was on the entire time, and that's why my hotspot has been working. I know that due to Jim not being able to work with the roofing job as much, and my mom being behind on bills, me and Jim are on my mom's family plan for cell phones and internet, like T-Mobile's family plan. So she got behind on paying the T-Mobile bill, and that's purely our fault because we got behind on all of our bills, and that was so stressful. We caught up on the electricity bill, so we're caught up on the electricity bill. It's just we're now behind on our cell phone bill. I have no idea if the reason why my hotspot is pretty much not working whatsoever at all, if it's because we are behind on the cell phone bill. So right now my phone has died and I'm charging it. This is the stressful part. Apparently, even if I turn on data roaming and my hotspot while my phone is charging, I cannot run the data roaming and my hotspot. So I have to unplug my phone to actually get a hotspot going to do pretty much anything. So that's frustrating and that's annoying, because while I was attempting to film today, like a bunch of different videos. I was trying to film a day in my life video of like an all day thing, and I ended up deleting it because it was just too long. I didn't want to edit it, and it was kind of stupid because I really didn't do anything today. And then I started to film a second part of my home renovation video, because there's a lot of things that I needed to discuss in home renovations that I haven't really fully detailed talked about. I've talked about a little bit, but I haven't really talked about it. And I decided to delete that because that was over an hour long, and I could have made it a 3-part series, but at the same time I was like, no. So right now I'm sitting here in my living room, bad lighting because I don't feel like turning on my living room ceiling fan. So frustrated right now because my internet is not working, and it's I swear I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this, because even if we get HughesNet or VisNet or one of the shitty effing internet services, like we used to have HughesNet. It sucks. They way overcharge you, and then you run out of data so fast, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And that's what's frustrating, because we had HughesNet, and we basically, like, stopped paying on it because, well, one, we couldn't afford it anymore, because we were paying, I can't remember how much we were paying, but for example, I know we weren't paying this price, but we're going to give an example. Let's say we were paying $120 a month. I don't think we were paying that, but basically, you only get so much data. We are paying the highest price for the highest speed of data, or the most data that they can give in HughesNet. HughesNet only gives about 25 mega, whatever it's called, 25 data service. They don't go any higher than that. I don't think they do. They might when we signed up for it. I can't remember. But we were paying this price for the highest we possibly could, and we would run out of data before the before the billing cycle was up. Which means if we paid for the highest data, it was $75 extra. That I do know the price of. We only did that once because when Ian lived here, with him streaming Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and then me being on YouTube, it sucked up our data really, really fast. Now, since I don't have Hulu or Netflix, and I watch a lot of YouTube, I don't think it would suck up that much data, but it wasn't worth it, because then you're spending almost $200 for an internet service that basically doesn't work. Jim couldn't game at home, because you can't use HughesNet at all to game. If we put Netflix or Hulu on the TV, we barely could watch it. We had to watch Hulu or Netflix on the laptop or his PC, which didn't bother us. I mean, it was fine, but it would glitch out. VisNet, I'm probably saying that wrong, is the same. It's pretty much the same. They have more data, but the highest data that they give you is like $200 to start. And that's just ridiculous. That is absolutely absurd. And then you can't add data if you use all that data up. And from what I was researching, then it's like, it's frustrating because HughesNet and VisNet locks you into a 2-year contract. Why? Why do internet services lock you in to a contract? They should have an option of 6 months, year, and then plus, right? All internet services should. They should not force people to be locked into a 2-year contract because, one, you know for a fact that the internet sucks, and after so many months of realizing the internet sucks, you're going to end up canceling it. So not only do you have to pay a cancellation fee, but then you have to pay all of that back fee that they charge you because you canceled your bill early. So let's say we had, let's say we were locked into HughesNet. Well, we were locked into HughesNet for 2 years, and we wanted to cancel it after 6 months. So we still had a year and a half. So not only would they charge us like $350 to cancel HughesNet, but they charge us for that year and a half that we still owed on HughesNet. So we'd be paying it off. What? That makes no effing sense. I mean, seriously. And they do this because they're scams. They know that people are desperate for internet and they live out in the rural areas like we do. And they know that people are going to pay. They know that people are like hard up and no other internet service is going to come out there. So they basically screw people over on purpose. It's a scam. HughesNet and VisNet are scams. I don't want to be locked into a 2-year contract. And that's what's frustrating because I have to wait till November 11th for my data to reset so that way I can use my hotspot again. Or unless, like I said, we pay what is owed on the cell phone bill and then maybe it will work a little bit better. I don't know. When Jim comes home tonight, I can see if if his hotspot would work because it would be nice to actually. Fun fact, while I'm making this, my internet just connected. So apparently my phone's now charged enough to randomly work. On top of that stress of the internet, Facebook. Thank you, Mark Asshole Zuckerberg. Yes, and I say Mark Asshole Zuckerberg because seriously, he needs to fix Facebook's website. Anytime I go on Facebook's website, whether I'm in town or not, Facebook's website goes down. It will not load. I swear. I spend more time trying to load the Facebook thing than anything else because it's easier. I don't know why it's easier for Jim to message me on Facebook than it is to text. Probably because I can use my laptop to go anywhere in the house and message him as opposed to taking my phone and having to be right up on a window or outside to text him. That's another thing that sucked about HughesNet. HughesNet, even though we had internet service, you still couldn't use it inside the house. Like, I couldn't be sitting here on my phone on a website or playing a game on my phone, like with HughesNet. Why? Don't know. I still had to either be at a window or outside. I don't know if that was just my phone, because Jim has an iPhone, or if that was HughesNet, but that was frustrating. And I can't keep getting up and down constantly all the time, being this far along in my pregnancy, because if I keep getting up and down, it's starting to cause me indigestion. But I'm so effing stressed out because any time I try to do anything, it's one thing after another. I am de-stressed because of the electric bill, but then we still have, there's hair on my laptop, but we still have the car to fix. That's still stressful. Once we get the car fixed, we have to get it legal. And why I say that's because our tags are expired. And I'm sure that there's going to be a fine or a fee that Jim has to pay for getting the tags. He's going to try to get a temp tag. Yeah, so I'm still massively stressed out. I'm still stressed out. I'm better, but I'm still so effing frustrated. So frustrated. I just want to sit here and I don't know. It's like I want to throw my I don't know. It's like I want to take a sledgehammer to some walls or something. I like if I had a sledgehammer, if sledgehammers were like massively heavy and I could actually swing it in my pregnancy, I would take it outside and go destroying something outside, like some old, like the old lawnmower that's outside or something. I don't know. That's how frustrated I am. On that note, that's what I'm dealing with today on November 5th at 27 weeks pregnant. So, effing internet.